All right, thank you for everyone for joining part 3 of our signing day special here this afternoon. We're joined by freshman quarterback Hamp. We'll take questions in the chat, just like we've done in the past to get started. But just want to thank Hamp for taking the time to join us today. And we'll get started with questions here. Just a moment. And we'll start first with Matt Wenzel with MLive. Matt?
Hey, Hamp, I'm just wondering how the transition's been overall, excuse me, to being an early enrollee and kind of when it settled in that this is, you're now a college student, you're now working out and part of the college football team.
Yeah, the transition has been extremely smooth. The whole process of flying in and coming in to just get settled in my dorm and meeting all the new guys and actually being in person, not over Zoom and stuff, has, just being with them has been amazing. Just like they've been all very supportive, all the coaches, getting to know them. And it just makes me like really excited just to be with them and, just being around them all the time. I mean, they made the transition really, really easy for me and my family and everybody else.
How has the strength and conditioning taken place so far for you? I know it's obviously an adjustment, but what's that been like?
Yeah, it's actually hasn't been that hard of an adjustment for me. Going into it, I was really excited and was expecting a lot, to be busy and moving around, and which it did live up to my expectations. I noticed that we were moving around a lot, and everybody was having a good time. I did feel sore, not gonna lie, but I mean that's part of it, and just getting in shape and continuing every day, and it was really good to getting used to that transition and getting used to that environment.
Thanks, Sam.
Our next question is from Zach Serdinik with Impact Sports.
Hey, Hamp. So I just wanted to ask a little bit about how the transition's been going with learning from some of your new teammates in that quarterback room. You guys have a lot there with Anthony Russo coming in and Peyton Thorne and all of those guys in there. How are you learning and getting to know those guys?
Yeah, we've all been learning from each other, from all the quarterback meetings that we've been having. We've been going up and meeting all together, and we've been going really fast with Coach and how he's teaching us something new every day, and it feels like a whole lot. I mean, we're learning so much stuff, and then just like with all the other quarterbacks in the room, we're just all competing together, and just kind of it's just that it's no one talks about it, but like you just feel that tension in the quarterback room, and trying to beat each other and just compete in general. It's fun environment. There's a lot of pressure, but you just gotta stay calm, cool, and collective. And it's been fun to work with them. So,
thank you.
Our next question is from Joe Dangin with the State News.
Hey, Hamp, hope you're doing well. Coming from Texas, I mean, no matter who you are, athlete, student, whatever, to college, I guess is a big adjustment. Just kind of how has that been coming from, so, being far away from your family and also adjusting to the football program too, as an early enrollee?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely colder here, a lot more colder than I thought. I mean, obviously, it's just I wear a couple more jackets than usual, but yeah, just the first week, we had to quarantine, just because traveling and whatnot. So I had a lot of time just being with other enrollees and just talking, and mama's calling every day, every night, and so just checking up on me. But yeah, I miss them and kind of went through that little phase, and still talk to them, but I miss my dogs a lot more than I thought I would. But besides that, I mean, we FaceTime each other all the time, but going back to that transition, all the coaches and all the staff, they made that transition like I mean, really easy, like super easy for me as far as, any questions I had, anything that I needed to be done, they were there for me every single bit of it. And I mean, it just made the whole process a lot easier because of them.
And Cameron Allen talked about this a little bit too, you guys doing a little bit of work together, maybe in the off season, just kind of, how does that help you guys and your relationship kind of coming here together as early enrollees as well?
Mhm. Yeah, we've been working, just a little bit. I mean, he lives a little bit farther away, but we were able to get together and get some work and establish a early connection, which went off to a great start. And it's pretty funny too. With his high school and my high school, our head coaches know each other, and so we kind of ran a similar offense and had similar plays. And so I'll tell them, I'll tell him a couple plays, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we ran them. I know what you're talking about." So we're both connected in that sense, and we know what we want from each other. And if I want to correct him, or if he wants to correct me, or I mean, we're really, we communicate with each other, and I'm just looking forward to keep doing that with him.
Thanks, Sam.
Our next question is from Chris Solar, the Detroit Free Press.
Hamp, good to see you. Nice to meet you. I guess first, what kind of dogs do you have, and what are their names?
So I have two dogs. I have a golden retriever. And that's a girl. Her name's Nala, and she actually just turned 7 like last week. And then I have a black lab puppy, Creed. We named him Creed, and he's only like a year and a half. So he's the wild one in the family.
Your parents going to be able to bring him up to get him running out in the snow a little bit?
I would love that. I hope they do.
I wanted to for you, what makes you a Mel Tucker or Jay Johnson quarterback? I think that's kind of, we know that the guys were here, but you're the first guy to come in under them. What do you think is the quality that you have that they like most?
I think just the competitive aspect that I hold. I'm able to, like I demonstrated in high school, that whatever circumstance it may be, with everything that we've been given, like there's no excuses to where we can't go out and win. I mean, if we got, COVID or whatever it is, whatever it may be, the team looks to me, just because I have that competitive aspect and just that drive to go win. And I think that's something that they're looking for, and especially in a quarterback, because I know Coach Tucker wants, the quarterback to be the most competitive guy on the field. And so that's what I feel like they're looking for in me. And, I want to go out and demonstrate.
Our next question is from Lindsay Huddleston.
Great. Chris really spoke to the question I was going to ask. You answered it very well, but I guess to follow up a little bit more, how do you get that across to your teammates, to your peers? It's one thing to be able to connect with Coach Johnson and Coach Tucker, of course, but how do you help get that across to teammates who aren't Cam from your home state of Texas or anywhere else?
Yeah, I think it's just taking advantage of every opportunity that's given to me, whether it's in the weight room, in meetings, just small little interactions. I got to, win each moment. I mean, as small as it is, I got to, gain their confidence and their trust in me. So, I got to be able to do that and demonstrate, every day in the off season, throughout the summer, leading up into the season.
Great. I appreciate it.
Our next question is from Audrey Dahlgren with WLNS.
Hi, Hamp. Welcome to East Lansing. What is the one thing that I guess has not been different, but similar, because going through the recruiting process, it was obviously virtual. So you mentioned the snow it's colder here than what you had anticipated, but what else about Michigan State is different or is what you expected?
Well, I will say that the people are a lot nicer up here. I mean, I walk down the sidewalk, and I won't even know the person. They say, "Hey, what's up?" Just really nice interactions, and it just catches me off guard because I'm like, "Oh, I mean, I don't know." I mean, they stopping to say hi to me, and I mean, it's like everybody around here, and it's really cool. I mean, it feels like everybody here, if you're a part of the MSU, if you're not, or whatever, I mean, it all feels like a family. Like, it really does feel that way. And that it's really cool. I mean, just to stop and talk to anybody and to have a really nice, friendly conversation.
It can be a difficult decision to make, as you know. I'm sure you wavered back and forth quite a bit on where to go and who to play for. But what about the facilities too at Michigan State, or the culture that Mel Tucker's trying to build? Not enticed you to come here, but that could be hard over Zoom interviews to get a feel for what a program's like.
Mm-hmm. It can be, but then just like within the interactions that you have, just talking to people, you can get a really nice idea of where they're coming from, especially if you do the research of their past and what they've done in the past, and obviously talking to other players that have been coached by them, and to get opinions on them. And so I went through that, and everybody had really good things to say about them, and I did my research on them, and there was something that sparked my interest, and throughout the whole entire recruiting process, it just led up to that decision. And I was like, yeah, I want to go play for Coach Tucker and the rest of the coaching staff.
And then if I may ask, who were some of those people that you reached out to get a gauge for Coach Tucker or maybe Jay Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Rocky and a couple other quarterbacks a long time ago, but they were just from like getting used to the coaching staff. I mean, I talked to him probably around like the summer or like kind of the fall-ish, and just trying to figure out like where they stand with that coaching staff. I mean, even with the small time that they had, I was just, you kind of want to have that first, okay, what were your first impressions of the coaching staff? What do you think? How'd y'all start it off? And so just being able to talk to them, and then also just, in general, going online, and, you can view press conference that they had on YouTube, or, just something simple like that, and really see where they're coming from. And that's all that I did to see that, and really, really like made me want to play for them.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Rico Cooney with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Hamp, welcome to Michigan. Hey, can you talk to me a little bit about Cam and the relationship you have with him, and maybe some things that we don't know about him that will endear him to his teammates and to the Michigan State community?
Yeah. So yeah, Cam, I mean, so we both work out together. We're part of the same like lifting group, so to say. We're at the same rack. So we spend a lot of time, just motivating each other. And even so, like in the dorms, we're just a couple rooms away from each other. So we spend quite a lot of time, outside of football too, just chatting in general. And, we make a lot of connections, back at home to Texas, and a lot of the people up here will ask us, like, what's Texas like? What's all that stuff? And we'll talk about that. But yeah, no, on the field, I mean, Cam, he's a big body too. One thing I can tell that separates him is that, he's extremely athletic. It's almost like he can also play receiver, at the tight end spot. He's a big body, and really he has that quick twitch that, a lot of big bodies usually kind of lack. And just in general, I mean, catching the ball, I mean, he's got the soft hands. But I mean, in regards to that, like, he's just an overall athlete. And, even when we're working out, he's not just doing it to do it, but he has an extreme drive to win and compete. And, what you can see that in the way he interacts with the other players on the team.
Okay, thank you.
Our next question is from Jim Comparoni with Spartan Magazine.
Hey, Hamp, great to see you. Hope you're doing all right, man. Hey, a lot of these recruits that are going to be coming in and joining you in the summer and so forth, and the ones that are there mid-year, they didn't have a chance to come in and meet the staff or see the campus for obvious reasons. You did. You were able to visit in February, I think, before the lockdown. How thankful are you, and were you, that you had a chance to do that when everything else came to a standstill, that you were able to see the campus and you knew where you were going, whereas other recruits across the country haven't had that?
Yeah, I think it was, that was a blessing from God. I think, with the whole COVID and the virtual thing, I mean, it is definitely unfortunate that a lot of players, haven't been able to go on visits and stuff because, I mean, I think that does play a really big part because, I mean, you want to see what it feels like, with how the people are. You want to see the facilities and all that stuff. I was able to see that, and some of the other commits and signees will ask me, it's like, hey, what did you think of this or that? And I can give them an honest opinion of saying, hey, man, like these facilities are unbelievable. Like it's everything you ever need. So I mean, it's pretty cool. Just talking to them, and they're like, man, I can't wait. It's like I'm itching to get up there. And a lot of them are like, man, I wish I could early enroll with y'all. And they're all pretty excited. And just coming over the summer, but yeah, just I mean, for the guys that haven't been able to visit, I'm there for to help them try to get that feel as much as possible. Since they didn't go on a visit.
And you were able to relay that to them even last summer and in the fall, I would imagine also.
Yeah, so like if we were just talking on the phone or whatever, and they were asking about this, like what's the training room like, what's the facility, what's the stadium, just in general, like I can try to give them the best, I can try to communicate that, the best way as I can.
All right. The indoor throwing that you guys have been doing, I think there's been a little bit of that. What's that been like? Has that been intense? Has that been, how would you describe that?
I've been loving it. I mean, it's intense. It's fast moving. Coach Johnson, he likes to do things with a high tempo because he likes to correlate all the stuff that, he teaches and coaches on the, during the game. So, I mean, we're moving fast, and you got to just think fast. You got to think that way. You got to be like that on the field. And, we're working on our footwork. We're working on everything, footwork, and just like the play concepts. If we're not even using the whole team, like we'll work on our footwork for like each plays and just going over plays and signals and talking about every little small detail so that when we get out on the field, it just comes natural to us.
All right, great. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
We have time for a couple more. We'll go to Stephen Brooks with 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Hamp. I wanted to ask you, Cam talked about a little bit ago, like when his parents left after moving him in, it kind of felt real. I'm wondering for you, when did, as a guy who was committed early and hadn't been here for coming up on a year now, you've done a lot of talking about it, and I'm sure a lot of people have been talking to you about, going to Michigan State. Now you're here. Just what was that moment like, or when was it, I guess, too, when it sort of sunk in, like, I am here now, like I'm starting my college career, and, it's sort of time to start over. When did that all sink in?
Well, I think, when they left my dorm and my first night here, obviously, but then I think it really kicked into me when I had to do my first, my first laundry little session. Cause I mean, I had to, I had to call mom and make sure I was doing everything correctly. So I think that kind of hit me as far as, I got to do my laundry, I got to take care of my room, take the trash out, stuff like that, so.
That's a new thing for you?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I had an idea, but mom has always got to help somehow.
Sure. And also, I got back on yours a little bit late. I apologize if you already talked about this, but just curious about transitioning to a college weight program and with Coach Novak, your impressions of him and what you guys have been up to there for, I guess, coming up on about a month now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach Novak, he's awesome. I mean, he knows his stuff, and I mean, he's interacting with us in the weight room the whole entire time we're lifting, and I mean, he's going by every single player, telling them what they need to do better, what they're doing. He's encouraging everybody. He's a high tempo guy too, very high energy, along with all the assistants that are in there, and it just kind of correlates to us. Like, okay, we need to move fast, we need to go. Everything that I feel like has been, whatever, if it's lifting weights, a meeting, talking in general, we're doing it as if we're in a game situation. So, talking, I mean, everything's a game situation. And yeah, coach, I mean, in the weight room, I mean, they all do a pretty good job of making it, feel like we're in a game and, we're going out and, competing.
Got it. Thanks, man. Good to see you.
Our final question will go to Chris Solar, the Detroit Free Press.
Before you got here, I mean, we talked so much about the recruiting aspect of everything being virtual, and over the years we've talked with guys that, once they commit, there's the big text thread that a lot of guys will go on. Did you guys, did you do anything video wise with the other commits to kind of get to know them? And was that part of the last year or so?
Are you talking about like with the other early enrollees?
Yeah, well, not just the early enrollees, but the other guys in your class that'll be coming later. Do you guys have video calls? What kind of things have you done to kind of build relationships with those guys?
Yeah, we talk on the phone, all the time. Every single day. Obviously, the early enrollees are here. We talk to each other in person. But for the guys that are back at home, that have signed and are going to come over the summer or whenever, we FaceTime them and we stay in touch the whole, every single day. And, we show them what we're eating every single day because, they spoil us with the food after workouts. So they're always wanting to know what we're eating. And, we're like, oh, we got, Buffalo Wild Wings, something crazy, you wouldn't just typically get. So it's been fun just to kind of show them, kind of what it's all about.
What was it like though, finally getting to not just put the face to the face, but actually see them in person and shake their hand or whatever you could do under the protocols?
Yeah, well, when I first met Ethan, 6'7", almost over 300, I had to tilt my head back. I was like, "Who are you?" So getting to see him in person, it's one thing to talk over the phone, but see him in person and see what they're all about, watching them work, it's really cool. It gets me excited, for the season and the potential that we have. I told Cam the other day, we were doing a little photo shoot thing. I was like, man, I wish we could just go play tomorrow. Like, I just wanted to go play, and everybody else felt that way. And just seeing each other in person, it's just more exciting. It actually feels real, after the whole, long recruiting season.